'Twas on Good Friday morning, all in the month of May, a German ship was signaling beyond out in the bay.
Why is there such a debate about the diaries?
3,000 rifles.
The debate over the diaries is who actually wrote the Black Diaries. The White Diaries are most definitely written by Casement, but the Black Diaries' origins are hazy. A lack of convincing evidence as to who actually wrote the White and Black Diaries has spurred a debate for the last 80 years. Even though the Black Diary has been found to be the authentic work of Roger Casement, there is still some controversy surrounding whether Roger Casement did in fact write the Black Diary. This is due in large part to the legacy of Roger Casement. Some petitioned against the hanging of Roger Casement on the account of his distinguished service in the British Foreign Reserve. Also, quite naturally, some wanted Roger Casement to be hung on the account of his treasonous acts with the Irish Republican Brotherhood against Britain.
How exactly did the conspiracy theories emerge? To answer this, we first need to take a look at the relationship Casement had with Britain. Casement joined the Nationalist Irish Volunteers Foundation in 1913, and on the outbreak of World War I in 1914, he supported Britain's enemy Germany in the hope that it would assist the achievement of Irish independence. In addition, Casement persuaded Irish prisoners of war to desert the British Army for an Irish brigade. Casement held a wide range of international respect and was regarded very highly. Therefore, it was believed that in order to make sure no mercy was shown for Casement, the British claimed to have discovered a series of diaries that would portray Casement negatively. The diaries contained accounts of sexual relations with males and showed him to be a promiscuous homosexual. After Casement's death, the diaries were kept by the Home Office of the British and were held in conditions of extraordinary secrecy. This only added to the theories that the diaries were forged in order to prevent any appeals on Casement's behalf from proceeding. The British made sure to show extracts from the Black Diaries to those appealing on Casement's behalf. Given the horror with which homosexuality was then viewed, sympathy for him was far removed. Suspicions of forgery were perpetuated by Casement's close friends and family coming forward and insisting that he was not homosexual. For example, Herbert Dickey, an American doctor who Casement traveled with in South America for several weeks, claimed that he observed nothing that the diary claimed. Another friend of Casement's, John Quinn, wrote a letter to a friend stating, "Never by word or act, by tone of the voice, by a gesture, or by the slightest syllable or letter was there a shadow or shade of anything of a degenerate about him." Another supporter of the conspiracy theories was Gertrude Bannister, Casement's closest cousin. She claimed in a letter written to Roger's sister that, while he was in the Putumayo, he kept a diary in which he jotted down all the foul things he heard about the doings of the beauties out there whose conduct he was investigating. He used it later for his notes and report. They got the diary, cooked it, and forged bits to make it seem as if it were Roger's own experiences. All in all, based on the actions that Casement took against the British, it is believed that the diaries and arguments by Casement's close family, friends, and the Irish in particular, that a conspiracy was devised by the British to ensure his death.
Why were the conspiracies sustained? It is believed that the diaries were forged by the British to ensure his death. The conspiracies were sustained because the British government wanted to abolish any supporters of the rebellion. The British thought that by circulating the letters from the Black Diaries about Casement's potential homosexuality, rebel followers would in turn become discouraged. During this time period in Ireland, as well as most of the world, homosexuality was a very temperamental issue, and it was sure to ruin the reputability of any individual. This was especially detrimental for Casement since he was the leader of the rebellion. Casement's close friend, Archbishop Davidson, did not sign the petition to save Casement's life because this was against his beliefs. Despite his reluctance to sign the petition, Davidson did try to plead for Casement's life in court right before the execution. He believed the accusations against Casement were fraudulent, but failed to stop the execution.
What does the debate tell us about the revolutionary heroes? Thomas Clark was a revolutionary hero for his work in planning the 1916 Easter Rising. He immigrated to America and became associated with Clan Nagale in New York, whom raised funds for the revolutionary movement. He was later arrested and convicted of treason in Britain for the bombings of buildings in England. After serving his 15-year sentence, he returned to America and renewed his ties with the Clan Nagale, and upon return to Ireland served as a key connection to the Irish Republican Brotherhood in Ireland. Clark was instrumental in organizing the Irish Volunteers. He was the first to sign the Revolutionary Proclamation. However, he was executed at Kilmainham Jail on the 3rd of May, 1916. In comparison to Roger Casement, Clark has been recognized and honored through similar means, for example, stamps and memorial statues. However, Clark does not have a stigma surrounding him which attempts to discredit his contributions to the nationalist movement. Another revolutionary hero involved in the planning of the Easter Rising was Patrick Pearse. He was born in Dublin to an English father and Irish mother. He was an influential member of the Gaelic League and worked to promote Irish traditions within Ireland. Originally, Pearse was committed to the spread of Gaelic traditions. However, he slowly realized that home rule was essential to Irish culture and became involved in militant efforts against Britain. In 1914, Pearse became a leading member of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, the group that was planning the Easter Rising. Although it is likely that he did not fire any shots, he worked to organize and encourage men from the rebellion headquarters. His most famous role in the Easter Rising was his reading of the Proclamation on Easter Monday, which was a declaration of independence. Before the Rising, he wrote, "When we are all wiped out, people will blame us for everything, condemn us, but in a few years they will see the meaning of what we tried to do." After Pearse surrendered, he attempted to take much credit for the Rising in hopes of saving some of the other men involved. Pearse was executed for his role in planning the 1916 Easter Rising, along with 14 other rebels who planned the event. After being sentenced to death, he wrote to his mother, "This is the death I should have asked for if God had given me the choice of all deaths." Like Thomas Clark and Roger Casement, Patrick Pearse has been honored and recognized for his impact on Irish independence. Unlike Casement, there is little controversy around Pearse, and he is seen positively with little debate. His work to spread Irish traditions and language succeeded when Irish history and culture became a part of the education system in 1922. Pearse is also known to some people as the first president of Ireland.
How they took Sir Roger home again in the year of 60.